Well, we've come to the part of the walk where I'm going to sit, release Rocky to be free and sniff around, do whatever he wants to do for a while. And I always release him off the clock to be free from a calm sit stay. So make sure that you have him sit, just like you saw me just do. And then with your right hand, you just lean over. Don't hold him in place. In fact, you don't need to. But you want to keep that leash loose always. And just lean over with your right hand, pat his chest and say, go. And he knows that means that he's free. And he could be free for just a minute, or he could be free for an hour. And it's up to you, because the way that you're going to get him to come back to you is to call him to come to you. Now, the way that I call him to come to me is I always wait till he's at least looking away from me, or even better, distracted by something, sniffing, maybe trying to sniff something gross on the ground, or he's distracted by a person or another dog or whatever it is, because then you can practice your recall in a real life situation where he's interested in something, he hears come, and he breaks away from it and comes back to you, no matter how interested he is in something. And so we always make sure that we're set up for success in this. So you got a leash on him. You're not going to be calling him off leash for a long time. Off leash training is advanced stuff, and he has to be rock solid on leash before you try that. So what I do is wait till he's looking away or distracted by something. Got the leash in my left hand. He's kind of distracted by something, but no, now he's looking at me again. Left hand leash, right hand reward. See how I've got it? This is a little bit of natural balance, lamb flavored, which he loves. And I make a fist, because this target, when you don't have food, he's going to love to come to this target. Whether there's food in there or not, later on it's not really going to matter, because he's going to get pets instead of the reward, and he's going to feel like he got a reward anyway. So later on, that's one of the ways we phase out the food. But you have to call him to a fist, because it has to be a real clear target. A half open hand or something like that or like that isn't quite as good. Plus, when you start phasing the food out, he's going to see there's no food in there if you're doing this or doing this. So it's a fist, okay? And that way also you can start healing him and steering him when he's on your left with the fist target too, because he'll always come to that. So you can use it in other places too. But let's say you have a dog like Rocky that very often is just going to stare at you. Well, he's going to lay on the grass right now, so that's perfect. I can call the dog back towards the camera there. But if he won't stop looking at you, you have to create your own distraction and toss a piece of food the other direction. He's going to go get it, and then you call him away from that. That's what I was about to do, but then he collapsed in the grass. So he's looking away. He's interested in something else. Got left hand leash, right hand reward. I'm going to say, come. See how he's coming towards me? Good boy. His nose hits my target fist. It opens up. Sit. He gets a reward. And I step into him and have him sit. He's back on the clock now. And we could continue our walk, or I could just, if I'm practicing my recalls, I'm just going to release him again to be free. Go. You can just stand somewhere and just do this. You can do this in your backyard. You can do it anywhere in front of your house. It's just great practice. I'm going to do it one more time. Left hand leash, right hand reward. Come. Call him away from whatever he's looking at. Good. See how this left hand grabs the leash? Make sure that you grab the leash, because sometimes the dogs, if you don't secure them somehow, which the best way would be the leash, the dogs take the food and run off. So make sure you have the leash, and then you're all set up to step into him like this. Make sure he doesn't get around you like he just did on me. Step into him like this. Sit. And he's back on the clock, back in work mode. And this is a 6-foot leash. But you could also, if you really wanted to have him be excellent at his recall, get a long line, get a 15, 20-foot long line, start practicing in your backyard from long distances. It's the same concept. Go. It's going to be, if he doesn't respond the first time that you call him, don't ever repeat it, just do a little pop. Good. And just do it that way. Back away. It's really important that you back away, because that's what draws the dog to you. Sit. Good boy. Backing away draws the dog to you like a magnet. Now there's going to be somebody behind. Show the person behind us. Go. I'm going to let Rocky be free. And watch Rocky, because the guy's coming up on us. and watch him see if he notices. See, he notices the guy. I'm not waiting for something to happen. Come! I'm going to call Rocky away from that. And this person's going to pass right by on the sidewalk. Good boy. And this is what you want to do. Hey, Rocky, keep that leash loose and keep feeding him as they walk past. Obviously, we've practiced this a lot. He wasn't too cool with that 3 weeks ago, or a month ago actually, when he first came here. Come on, buddy. But now if you just practice it that way, sit. Good boy. In different circumstances, call him away from the person coming towards you, kind of get out of the way, have a big handful of goodies, Natural Balance sausage or chicken breast or whatever you're using. We've taught him, hey, distraction, person walking past, whatever it is you're going to work on, dog walking past or jogger or whatever, means, hey, that means pay attention to my owner, get rewarded for that. Everything good happens from you when that distraction shows up. He turns away from that distraction because he's confident that it's a good thing, and he's spotted that distraction come back to you, and he's getting rewarded for that. So we're actually placing a brand new set of behaviors in the spot of the other things where he used to be afraid or maybe aggressive or whatever he was. He would be different things at different times depending on what the distraction was and depending on what kind of day he was having probably. But now it's just the same thing every time. But you need to practice it exactly as you saw me doing it, because you don't wait for him to stare and stare and stare and possibly pull on the leash where you have to go like that, because those things cause aggression and stress in the dog. So staring, if he looks at something, you need to call him back to come to you as soon as possible, because you want him to look and then break away and come back to you. That's what you're teaching him when you plug in that command at the right spot. Don't let him stare for an extended period of time, because staring can lead to aggression. And then of course he may pull, or you might have to do this on a leash, and that triggers stress and leads to aggression also, and more fearfulness, which is why he came to me. And he was very fearful out on the street at first. Never could have handled somebody walking up like that a month ago. So it's all these concepts that have changed him in such a short period of time. Okay, let's go. Come on, buddy.